Took James Ward-Prowse just 7 minutes to get his first assist for West Ham United. And it's fair to say he's made a pretty instant impact at the club. Obviously, of course, he came from a set piece. You know, we know how much value he adds to us with his set pieces, pings the ball in. There was a minute earlier, actually, where, you know, we almost got on the end of it as well. But this time, again, lost his man in Gallagher, leaps, puts it in the back of the net. 7 minutes, that's all it took him to get his first assist. And then, you know, early into the second half as well, the ball bounces around, comes up to James Ward-Prowse, instant first-time pass, the feet of Antonio. He goes forward, blasts through the defence, smashes one at the bottom corner. You know, he assisted both of our goals. And I think James Ward-Prowse is going to be so crucial to the way we play this season. Let's be honest, we don't play sexy football. We can play sexy football, and I think we want to play sexy football. But watching that game, most of the time, it seemed like the idea was to lump the ball up to Antonio. And, you know, cool, fair play for the second goal. It did work. But for the most part, we lump the ball up to Antonio. We hope that we can win a throw-in or a free kick higher up the pitch, allow ourselves to drag ourselves forward, or have Antonio hold the ball off and allow other players to come into play. And yeah, it works sometimes, but it comes off as very, very ugly, negative football with the way it sort of comes out a lot of the time. And, you know, especially when Antonio's against the back five and he's got essentially one defender free to just man mark him the whole time. And besides his goal, he didn't really have much luck against that back five. And Moyes, you know, he didn't really change much. He didn't really want to play on the floor too much. And yeah, for me, I feel like we did simply just try and lob the ball up to Antonio and see what can happen. And I think that is why James Ward-Prowse is going to be so crucial to our season this season, because we do play ugly football at the moment. It's not pretty. It's hard, grinding football. However, having James Ward-Prowse allows us such an asset. You know, if we get a free kick, we could potentially score from it. If we get a corner, we're now a lot more deadly from corners. You know, if we get these set pieces, these dead balls, then Ward-Prowse has the opportunity to be able to create chances for us. And in this team where defensive stability is more important than attacking at the moment, because as much as David Moyes wants us to be this counter-attacking team that scores loads of goals and outscores their opponents the way we did in our first season, well, you know, not the first season under David Moyes, but the first season under David Moyes, where we played lockdown football. You know, that's what he wants to emulate. He wants to emulate this lockdown football where, yeah, our defence, well, you know, we're just scoring loads of goals, outscoring our opponent. But he'd rather defensive stability than attacking threat. I mean, this is David Moyes. This is his philosophy in football. You know, he doesn't need much of the ball. He wants to be a powerful counter-attacking team that is defensively sound. But right now, it seems like he's more focusing on the defensive side of things. You know, if we can keep a team out for 90 minutes and attack little, that for him is more important than if we defend not that great, but we create loads of chances. You know, that's not what he wants to do. So with that in mind, I think having James Ward-Prowse in this team is going to be crucial. He's got to play every single game for me now. I think he's one of the number one, if not the number one team on the player on the first team sheet. Obviously, you've got Jarrod Bowen, who's an absolute shoe-in to start. He has to start. I think Ward-Prowse is second on that list. You know, I think he absolutely has to start this season. He's already paid dividends with 2 assists. I know a lot of people are quoting that, you know, that's the same amount as Declan Rice last season. Obviously, they're different players, but I think he has to be our, you know, one of the players that just has to be on the team sheet this season. We have to build how we're playing around him because, you know, like I said, that game was very few of chances and Ward-Prowse created both of them. And obviously the one that got us in front, which is also not like us either. We tend to concede first and then score, you know, maybe later on after we've sort of had a kick up the arse. But with Ward-Prowse, we've always got that opportunity. We've always got the opportunity from a corner goal. We've always got that opportunity from a free kick, from a dead ball coming into the box. We've always got that opportunity. So to me, I think he's going to be absolutely crucial to the way we play this season. He absolutely has to stay fit. And, you know, a lot of people did question the signing for £30 million. And, you know, it's nice to see a lot of pundits sort of, you know, put some respect on Ward-Prowse's name. You know, I mean, they were talking about, you know, Mason Mount, talking about Caicedo, Enzo, talking about that sort of stuff. And they said that he's actually like a really, really good player. Obviously, he's playing in the Premier League for years. He's one free kick goal away from equaling David Beckham's tally. I do think he is quite disrespected, to be fair. I mean, our own fans turn our nose up at him for £30 million. Thought we should go for someone like maybe like Fofana or just someone different. But, he's 28 years of age, £30 million. I think if he was a Premier League player still, he would have cost probably about £50 million. And to be honest, I think that's a fair price for him. And the other question is that we've got to ask ourselves is, should this man be the captain? Because the way that he spoke, the way he came out after the game, spoke about his performance, spoke about how he's doing. I mean, I think that is a captain's performance. And, obviously, like the way he sort of went about scoring both, assisting both goals, I think he probably should be the captain of the football club, because I think, he's captain of Southampton for years. And the way he's bedded into the West Ham team, it looks like he's been there for years. I was a little bit hesitant at first, because I think it kind of does promote a sort of like a poor mentality when you've got all these players who've been playing for the football club for years, and then you bring in a captain. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, for me, if you are playing at the football club and you build your way up the ranks and you become a respected member of the squad, you should have more reason to be captain than if you just get brought in from another club and they go, right, here's the biggest sort of accolade we can bestow upon you. You're West Ham captain. You're captain of West Ham United. And I think other players will be like, well, hold on, this guy's been here 2 minutes. He's barely played for the football team. He's barely put minutes into the shirt. He doesn't know we're trying to introduce him in. How is he going to, be that person? But I think with Ward-Prowse, his bedding in period has been so quick that I actually do think he should be captain. Obviously, Kurt, I think, is a good leader. But I also think having someone in the middle of the pitch is important as a captain. He's been a captain before. It's a no-brainer for me. But yeah, essentially, Ward-Prowse against Chelsea, I thought was absolutely brilliant. Instant impact from him. Like David Moyes said, it's a good thing we're not paying for his assists, because I think there will be a bit loss of them this season. And I think it'll be very, very crucial to the way we play this season.